One of the ways in which the Islamist jihadists, if you will, Sharia law, the Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Hamas are going to be able to infiltrate the great Satan of the West is to pretend, like the Trojan horse, is to pretend that they're good with trannies, that they're good with LGBTQ, as you heard stated by that lion Jekyll named Mamdani during the space of his campaign. And you may wonder why so many of young white girls in particular and boys in particular voted for Mamdani. The reason being is because he led them to believe that Islam is okay with being a tranny, that Islam is okay with being an LGBTQ, and he smiled and put his hand on his chest and beat his chest and said that he was good with trannies. So when literally millions of young people across America, but specifically here in New York City, heard the lie, one of the greatest lies ever told was told by Mamdani, that he is going to embrace the trannies and LGBTQ. That's what brought all the homosexuals out of the woodwork and out of the closet and into the voting booths to vote for Mamdani, to give him what looked like a majority of New York City votes. But here is the deal. The other thing is that many of the younger people who are the younger LGBTQ, they're not from the old school, if you will, homosexual. They're young homosexuals who believe that they have a right to be homosexuals, that they were created by God to be that way. What they're now doing is that they're now defending Islam. When you encounter someone who is defending Islam and declaring anyone who speaks out against Islam or points out what happened in the World Trade Center or points out what has happened in Afghanistan, points out what ISIS has done or what the Sunnis and Shiites have done to one another in Iran and Iraq, or points out what the Hutus have done or what Hamas has done in the kibbutzes. When you encounter any white person or black person for that matter, Hamas or Shem, if you will, Japheth, when they say, oh, that's Islamophobe to talk against Muslims that way, what they are doing is that they are washing the hand of the Muslim, because the Muslims have lied, which is a part of their religious tenets. The Muslims have lied and said being a tranny is okay. Being a queer is okay. Being bisexual is okay. Being gay is okay. Being a lesbian is okay. So they're washing the Muslims' hands. And you're finding many of these young white people and young black people that are running to the aid of the Muslims and saying that's Islamophobe or that's Islam, that speak against it. What they're simply doing is washing the hands of the Muslims, because the Muslims have lied. The Muslims have lied, Mamdani being the major character of the lie, Tanakwa, which is what Muslims are allowed to do, lie, and say they have embraced tranny, they have embraced LGBTQ, and so therefore that Muslims will accept that. Now, anybody with half a hair brain, not even a brain, half of a hair trigger brain, would know that Muslims will cut your head off, but they have lied. They have used the power that lie here in America. That's how they've gotten into the voting hearts of these young college students, these young white people, these young black people. That's how they rode a Trojan horse by saying they support. The one and major thing is not that Mamdani ran on is not affordability. Everybody knows the price is right. Everybody knows there is no free lunch. While it sounds good, affordability, it sound good, but most people of rational thought realize that you just can't run a transit system as massive as New York without collecting some kind of money to keep the doggone thing running. Otherwise, they go broke in a month. No, that was not the thing. Affordability was not the key role. The key role that was played by Mamdani, led by the great Satan himself, liar, was that we will accept trannies. He told all these young white people, he told all these young black people, we will accept trannies, we will accept gays, we will accept lesbians, we will accept queers, we'll accept bisexual. And when they heard that, they jumped on and voted for Mamdani. That's what took place. Now, what are we going to do about it? Well, first of all, we're going to make it known. That's exactly what Mamdani did. By the way, Mamdani is a closet gay person himself, and that's not on the agenda for full discussion and disclosure today. We'll get to another time. But what is on the agenda today, and what we need to make sure is and now this is the way the Islamists, the Mohammed boys, are going to use the cloak of homo. Now listen to this very carefully. You're not going to hear anything ever more important than this until I tell you something else ever more important. What the Mohammed boys are doing is that they're using as a cloak that they will accept homosexuality. And I want to tell you something. Here in New York, these people are stone cold sex freaks. I mean, everywhere you shake a stick, there's somebody with a sex freak, with a bisexual, with a homosexual, with a lesbian, with a gay, with a queer, with a tranny attitude. And they understood that the major party in New York City is not the Democrat Party. No, 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 no. That the major party in New York is not the Republican Party. No, 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 no. That the major party in New York is not the Independent Party. No, 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 no. But the major political voice and party in New York City is the LGBTQ tranny party. And that's what Mamdani tapped into. And I'll tell you something. Every time you hear somebody, black or white, open their mouth defending Muslims is because they believe that Muslims will defend their homosexuality. One hand washes the other. One person scratches the other's back. The Muslims scratch the homosexual's back? Well, not really. They've got these homosexuals who they believe divinely are inept and unable to understand and accept the truth or even realize when they're being lied to. But they have convinced the LGBTQ tranny group to, if you check the sexuality of everybody that voted for Mamdani, you'll find at least 75% of them were of the LGBTQ sort or LGBTQ leaning or LGBTQ whatever it is, favorable. It wasn't affordability. That's the lie that these people who sat behind these anchor desks on these news programs told you. But the real truth, the real ugly, blood-curdling, if you will, deep down in a black swamp truth is that Mamdani was able to get into political power here in New York by lying and said this violent, warfaring, wild man, wild-ass man, religion known as Islam, all they've ever done is kill people, cut off the heads of people. All of a sudden now they're accepting homos, trannies, lesbos, gays, queers as their friends and their partner. What a lie! But it was sold like hotcakes, and young people ran to the polls and defended their right to be homos by voting for Mamdani. That's it. Now, you're not going to hear anything more important than that until I tell you something else more important, because there's more coming. But you need to realize that's where we are. That's exactly what's going on in this, and that's why God's called me, and I have answered the call to fight both now the LGBTQ and the Islam. But let me say this to you LGBTQ people. First of all, your thinking is fizzled when you have desires, when a man desires the affection of another man. When a man desires another man to whisper sweet nothings in his ear on a pillow at night, that's not natural. It just isn't. But here's the thing that you need to understand, all of you LGBTQ people who put Mamdani into power. Here's the thing that you need to understand. Like the Trojan horse, as soon, now you listen to me, like the Trojan horse, as soon as Mamdani, if he's able to take the seat on the 1st of January here in New York City in the inauguration, at the invalid inauguration, when he's able to take that seat, every Muslim is coming out of that Trojan horse. And the first people that will be eliminated, the first people that will be jihaded, the first people that will be intifada would not be the Jews. It will be the homosexuals. Muslims will sweep in from Somalia, from Yemen, from Qatar, from Iran, from Iraq. Muslims will sweep in from Libya, Morocco. Muslims will sweep in from the Muslim nations, and they will begin to wipe the city of New York clean of almost all homosexual language, all homosexual movies, all homosexual books. Anything that is homosexual in America, starting in New York, will be washed whiter than Tide washing power can get it once this, if you will, Trojan horse of Muslims. And this is why God has called me into action. Now, what's the prognostication? Well, what's the prophecy of how this is going to take place? The Muslims have, by deception with Mamdani, being a young man, because if they had chosen an older Muslim with a long beard like Osama bin Laden, none of these young people would have believed them. But the Muslims found perhaps the most, if you will, powerful weapon in a northern city like New York. That is to say, embrace homosexuality and you can do anything you want, because New York is a homosexual town. New York is a homo town. They know it. And so their plan, which worked until God has put me on the scene, as I have explained, was to make the homosexuals think that they are at peace, they are safe walking past a Muslim mosque. I mean, you got to be some sort of a damn new fool. You got to be some sort of hot damn new fool to think a homosexual is safe walking into a Muslim mosque. You may walk in, but you won't walk out. You got to be out your hot damn mind. I mean, but think about it. You obviously, there's a perversion of thought. Let's rewind the history of the election for the office of mayor of the city of New York very briefly, because I know you got someplace to go and I have something else to do. Were you to remove the fact that Mamdani embraced not just LGBTQ, but embraced trannies? I mean, can you imagine over there in Afghanistan that a white man with red hair or a white woman with blonde hair, but a white man with red hair over there in Afghanistan cut off his junk and put it in a bottle of formaldehyde and walking around Afghanistan telling everybody he just cut off his junk with all the Muslims over there? Can you imagine anything like that? Hell, it'll be, man would be able to not only walk on the moon, but man would be able to walk to the damn moon before that takes place. But that's exactly what the LGBTQ people did here in the most recent election. Now, the Lord has called me, and I am his servant, and I will continue to serve him. I will not forbear. I will not zip my lip. But the battle is raging. I will not, you listen to me very carefully, I will not allow that lie to prevail. Now, as I've stated in times gone by, that I have, while I've condemned homosexuality as a biblical abomination and will condemn it until Jesus returns, However, every homosexual of every sort is welcome to the Outlaw World Missionary Church and into any other Christian church, Catholic or Protestant or otherwise. We will receive you. Now, you can't come in and just be homosexual, but we will not kill you. We will not cut your throat. We will not execute you. We will love you and bring you to the sense of the truth. I posted up a video. I'm going to ask the engineer to run it. It's called Mamdani Lied. And you'll see what I've just explained to you, perhaps the most important thing you've heard until I speak to you again about the most important thing you'll hear next. But what you've just heard over the past few minutes, you've not heard anything more important. Islam is coming, and it's coming through the Trojan horse of LGBTQ trannies. That's how it got into the political power of New York City. Now, what am I going to do? Like a good gladiator, I'm going to bust that Trojan horse wide open.